Hakari's jackpot literally gives him an endless pool of cursed energy to use. So what if he had an even higher maximum output? What if he had Ryu Ishigori's output? How might that change things for him? All right, shout out to William for asking me about this today. And what if we gave Hakari Ryu's output, which was said to be the highest in history, right? Now, there is some contention about that statement, whether it means all of history or just the history of his province. But for the purposes of this, it doesn't really matter, right? What if we increased Hakari's output even further? What would that mean for him? So for starters, very quickly, what is output, right? And I have a video where we do a deep dive on this somewhere, but essentially it's just another facet of your cursed energy. We already talked about how Hakari has literally infinite cursed energy in his jackpot, right? But that does not mean his output is uncapped. He's still limited by whatever his natural output is to begin with, right? So a way to think about it is that Hakari just can't put infinite cursed energy into a single punch, right? He's limited by his maximum output, but he can throw that maximum punch repeatedly because he doesn't have to worry about running out, right? If you think of it in terms of running, Hakari can do a full-on sprint, and when he's in jackpot, he can't sprint any faster, but he can sprint endlessly. So what if we increase that cap? Well, he's just going to get exponentially stronger, right? Because he will always be able to fill that maximum output thanks to his jackpot. Now, it's going to be impossible to quantify just how much higher Ryu's output is than Hakari's, so it's really hard to say like how much stronger he would be with Ryu's output, but the more we crank that up, the more scary he gets. But here's what I'll say. We can't really quantify the difference between Hakari and Ryu, but we got to see Ryu in action, right? And against Yuta Okkotsu specifically. So I don't think his output is high enough to really make a substantial difference when it comes to Hakari, right? If Ryu had just been destroying Yuta all the way across or had a more impressive showing against Sukuna, then maybe we could say, oh yeah, like there's some devastating things you can do with that output. Now, it's not to diminish it, but Hakari is already very strong. So I don't really think him getting, a 10 to 20% increase, whatever we want to say it is, would really change his standing all that much. I think we would have to go beyond what we saw from Ryu to really get into some, okay, wait, we need to talk about Hakari territory. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to throw any shade at Hakari. I think he's one of the strongest people in the verse and could redefine special grade like Gojo said. I just don't think boosting him up to whatever Ryu's output is enough to move his needle amongst the other strongest people in the verse. I still don't think he could do much against Yuta.